What up, YouTube fam? About to go on right now.
Compassion and light for each other. I mean, I know it sounds like an old hippie, but that's what I am. I am an old hippie. And I'm just really proud of this state and happy to be here.
Sounds like you found home.
Yeah, I just love that river down there. The spirits are ripping down there. The water spirits, the mountain spirits.
Got a lot to talk about, y'all.
I'm just...
World Championship. Track and
That's
field.
it for Sprouts. We've been listening to Jim Belushi, the actor and entertainer, talk with us about life, weed, the marijuana industry, and his company, Belushi Farms. Sprouts is a weekly program produced in collaboration with community radio stations and independent producers across the country. The Sprouts theme music is Torpedoes on Tuesday by Poison Control Center. The program is coordinated and distributed by Pacifica Radio. Thanks to Ryan David at Satellite Operations. If you or someone at your station has a radio production that you wish to showcase nationally on Sprouts, contact our air traffic controller, Ursula Rudenberg, at ursula@pacifica.org. That's URSULA at pacifica.org. I'm Doug McVeigh in Portland, Oregon. Thank you for listening, and see you next week on Sprouts.
Broadcasting from the Phoenix Center for the Arts, you're tuned to KRDP Jazz and Indie, where the Valley comes to talk, sing, connect. KRDP, Apache Junction, Goldfield Ghost Town, Phoenix, 90.7 FM in the East Valley, and online at Listen, the number 2, KRDP.com, a service of Desert Soul Media.
Views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of Desert Soul Media and its board of directors. Thank you for listening.
This week on the Keep 1 Million show, Sha'Carri Richardson and Noah Lyles are world champions in the 100 meters. Will they do it also in the 200? We're going to talk about that, as well as James Harden getting fined a huge amount for speaking out of line. Is the NBA cracking down on player movement? We're going to get into that, as well as Shannon Sharp is making some big moves, and he's moving to ESPN and other media outlets. We're going to tell you which ones. And also, Shohei Ohtani, the best player in baseball, major announcement about the future of Shohei Ohtani. We're going to bring that to you guys, as well as everything in between in the past week of the sports world and beyond. So keep it locked right here on the Keep 1 Million show.
Could Otani had already signed that contract?
What's that?
Could he had already signed the contract?
No.
No, okay, never mind.
Not till the end of the season.
All right.
And they was talking about trading him before the trade deadline, but they decided not to, because they was going to try to make the playoffs, but they're kind of out of the playoffs picture now. Angels aren't doing any good, so.
I might knock your thing over.
There we go.
Oh man. So Shannon doing some big things, huh?
Yeah.
I kind of knew that was gonna happen though, because he got the whole club Shay thing.
Mhm.
I really wanted him to really like put that out there and partner with somebody.
He did.
Oh,
He
he
partnered with Colin Cowherd's network.
Oh, he
So the volume.
the volume. Okay, he on that.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess it's all gonna start like next week or in a couple weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where it's at, man. Like, do your thing on FCC airwaves and do a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I actually like Stephen A. Smith podcast.
I heard it's really good.
Yeah, man. He really can like cut loose, you know, like and really be like, yeah, you know, boom, boom, have on who he want to have on, you know,
Yeah.
stuff like that. And he owns it. He
Mm-hmm.
can do what he wants with it. And that's pretty much what he wanted. You know, and he has his own production company too.
Right.
So he's gonna be doing like movies and stuff like that, man. He doing his thing, man.
Mm-hmm. 10-6-5.
He said the only regret he had though was
Huh?
he said the only regret he had though was that his mother's not allowed to see it. And,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, so I could dig that, man. 'Cause he wanted to buy her a house in the Virgin Islands.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Here we go, y'all.
And we're back. Keep 1 million show. I'm Dwayne.
Sean P.
And
Mike 3.
and we're live. It is the 24th of August, 2023.
Yes, sir. Happy belated
Happy-
birthday, Kobe.
Happy Kobe Day.
Yes, yes.
And before we get into Kobe Bryant and reminiscing about, you know, his amazing feats and everything, and what's going to happen in the future with Kobe, the World Championships is on right now in Budapest, track and field, and Sha'Carri Richardson shut them all down.
I told y'all.
100-meter champion, and what was it, 10-6-5 100 meters,
10-6-5.
personal best, and she's now in the 200-meter final. She just qualified for that. You know, what did you think about her performance?
Man, I told everybody, you know, I saw all the trolls, all the Jamaican trolls, all the bots and everything, hating on her and everything. Now, I will say this, she has grown a lot. 2 years ago, she was very immature, saying some xenophobic things. I didn't like it either, and I was one of the ones that was telling her to put the phone down. Just put the phone down and concentrate on your skill. And once she did that, like when she was in the U.S. Nationals, she took the wig off before the race and they didn't have the nails on, and she was like, boom, here I am. She told Lewis that what she say? She said, I'm not back, I'm better. And what she do, I told everybody, this girl had the talent. I ran track. So when I look at a track and field runner and I see it, I was like, yo, she has the raw talent to do this. So I'm impressed, but it doesn't surprise me at all.
Right, beating her Jamaican counterparts.
Yeah, Sharika Jackson, Shelly Ann Fraser Price.
Right, and now also on the men's side, Noah Lyles, 100-year champion.
Yeah, he did his thing.
You know, fastest man in the world, and going for that 200. I think they said the last time the 1 in the 200 as won by, same person was back in like about 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
And he's now, I think, in the finals of the 200 meters, which is, on the 25th of August. I mean, can we finally see one country hold both gold world championships in the 100 and 200 meters?
We possibly could. With the 200, I don't think Sha'Carri's going to get that gold. I believe it's either going to be Sharika or Gabby Thomas out of the U.S. So, but it wouldn't surprise me if Sha'Carri did it though, because she has that type of talent, and it's the first time, like since 2013, I think, since the American man and the woman won the 100 together to do that. I mean, this is amazing time.
Right.
A lot of people was like, a lot of Jamaican fans. They're rabid fans. I love their fans because they're really rabid, and they would constantly talk to trash like, oh yeah, this. And I told all of them, I said, like it goes in rotations. It goes in rotations. It goes back and forth with U.S. and Jamaica when it comes to women's and men's.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a very exciting, because I'm a fan of track and field. This is an exciting time.
Yeah.
Really exciting time.
What was the other girl that was in the 200 you was talking about?
Gabby Thomas?
Yeah. Could she break the world record? Because I think people were talking about that. Like she's that fast in the 200.
She possibly could.
And that's something that's amazing as well, because you have, American track and field, and it's always America versus Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
The past 10, 12 years it has been, and in about the past 2 Olympics it's all been Jamaica. Now United States is finally coming back with not just top talent, but world class talent, world record talent. I hopefully on the 25th we see a world record in the 200.
Yeah, I hope to see it as well. I mean, and anything can happen because it's been some upsets. It was some upsets in the 110 hurdles. Also, don't forget about Sydney McLaughlin. She got married. I think she hyphenated her name. Can't remember her last name right there. But Sydney McLaughlin, she's running the 400. She's not doing the 400 hurdles anymore. She's running the 400, so she's doing that. Then you got the 4x4 relays, the 4x1. I mean, it's not over. And I'm looking forward to these relays.
I was going to ask you about the 4x1 relays, like the women's side, because it's funny now, the women are more popular than the men in the track and field.
Oh yeah.
Who do you see in what lane in the 4x1 for women's? I mean, would you put Sha'Carri in a third leg or fourth leg?
No. You got to put Sha'Carri. You more than likely you have to put Sha'Carri last, either first or last, because the science of it is you're gonna pick Gabby in the middle. She'll run it straight away because she pretty much is almost unbeatable. I ain't gonna say unbeatable, but she's really hard to beat in that straightaway. She's 5 feet 9 inches and she's fast.
Mm-hmm.
So she's tall, a long stride. So she's gonna be either the second or the third leg, and then Sha'Carri will probably bring it home. That's probably how they're gonna do it.
Wow. Yeah, I would love to see that. It's always one of the last of the championships in track and field. The relays, 4x100, 4x400.
Mm-hmm.
I think they can take it. Both men and women can take it.
I believe they can do it too.
And when you have the Olympics next year, I really think they can possibly take gold, silver, and bronze in the Olympics for 100, 200, and the relays if this momentum keeps going.
Mm-hmm.
In the next couple days, the end is Saturday. The 27th is the end of the World Championships. How this is going, how this momentum is shaping out, they possibly will be the top. The USA will be the top in track and field come in Paris.
Oh yeah, it's gonna happen. But you also gotta remember, Jamaica's no joke. On the women's side, Elaine Thompson-Herah, she wasn't running this year. I have to look that up to see if it was injury, but she didn't run in the World Championships. Sharika Jackson's no joke. They have Shelly Ann is still gonna run, but this will be. I believe this is gonna be her last competitive year because she is 33 right now. So for the Olympics, she's gonna be 34. So that means 4 more years, she'd be almost 40. And I really very much doubt that she's going to keep going. And I believe she's going to wrap it up. She's the GOAT. She's one of the track and field GOATs. Her and Allison Felix for the women's side.
Right.
So this is exciting times. This is really exciting times for track and field enthusiasts.
Yeah, and remember, after Paris is United States. 2028 is going to be here.
Oh, snap. All right.
In Los Angeles.
LA, okay. All right.
Yeah, so hopefully Sha'Carri will be there. Like you said, because of age, a lot of those women won't be there.
Yeah, they won't be.
So you're going to have a new crop of runners.
Sha'Carri has a chance to dominate this sport for the next 10 years. Herself, Gabby Thomas, as well as a young lady. She's not there for the Worlds, but she's going to be coming up. Cambria Sturgis, and a whole host of others, as well as Jamaicans, and don't forget the British. So and don't forget this is one woman from Germany. From Germany, she's pretty fast. You know, you can't sleep on anybody. You can't sleep on anybody.
Noah Lyles 200 qualifier in 1976, and he's literally coasting. He was coasting looked like he was jogging.
Yeah, Gabby Thomas was the same way. It looked like she wasn't even running.
1976
She
is
was
his 200 time. So
Yeah.
he's
good year.
going into he may. Do you think he could break it?
They've been talking about that. They've been talking about like he might can break that record. I wouldn't be surprised if he broke
That
it.
is,
Usain Bolt.
Usain Bolt beat the record 20. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Beat Michael
Johnson.
Michael Johnson's record from '96.
Yeah, that stood for a while too.
You did almost 15 years.
Yeah, about 15 years.
Yeah. So what is it like 19? Almost. It's not under 19 seconds, right?
No.
It's about 1910 or something like
Nah, I can't quite remember what it is, but
that. Double check that.
but it's doable. It's doable. It's definitely doable. But I mean, we'll see. I mean, these men and women are running at insane speeds. I mean, think about it, 10.6. I mean, 100 meters in 10.65. I mean, that is insanely fast. You know, and of course the men running in like the nines at a 9-second rate. But man, you know,
Yeah, I'm gonna look up the.
they be moving
Later on in this show, I'm gonna look up the world records.
Yeah, we'll do that, but they be moving. They be moving.
Right. Before we go to break, want to bring up what's going on in the NBA with James Harden.
Yes, sir.
And he was fined $100,000 for what he said in China. I think I brought some of this up last week. And, you know, if he's right, he's right. But the main issue is the fact that he said he calls his boss a liar.
Yeah.
The reason why he said that, told investigators because Daryl Morey said he was going to trade him, you know, quickly after he signed, which obviously was a lie because now they're looking to not trade him because there's not a trade market for James Harden. He only wanted to go to one team. There may have been other, you know, teams wanting to, you know, trade for him. They may have some package deals, but he only wanted to go to Clippers. So because of all that you know, transpired, and him saying what he said in China, and that's a key. That's key. Talking about Daryl Morey in China to, you know, the media out there. Remember what Daryl Morey said years ago, I think it was 2019 or 2020, about the whole China-Taiwan situation. That had to run the NBA the very wrong way. So we're going to get into that and more, but keep it locked right here. It's the Keep 1 Million Show.
Yeah, man. I mean, people gotta learn. You can't.
I'm a banana slug, Stevie.
You can't call your boss out in public.
Mom took me to the forest last
I know
year.
they $1 million athletes, but you can't do that. You gotta be professional. I mean, regular people, we call our boss out like that or something like that. That's right, you're fired.
Check out discovertheforest.org for cool places nearby.
And I get it. I get it. I mean, you feel so he lied to you, but
Jill, why didn't you
come
tell
on
me
now.
that's what you did this weekend?
And it is a business. I mean, a lot of times you say, "Oh, these are the only teams I want to go to." You put the organization in a bind, so now that team knows that's all you want to come here. So they sit here and be like, "Okay, we only want to offer you peanuts." Like, nah, man. Now he open to being traded anywhere. It's like,
It's not that far away. Ask your parents to take you and
but
your friends to the
like
forest.
you just said,
It's closer
it's not a
than you
market
think.
for
Check
him,
out
man.
discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest
And he don't want to
Service
be on
and
a
the Ad Council.
rebuilding team.
Right. And we're back. Keep 1 million show. I'm Dwayne.
Sean Payne.
And we were just getting to this James Harden situation. $100,000 fine.
Woo.
And basically because he called Daryl Morey a liar. And, he's been very loyal to Daryl Morey, from Houston. And then leaving Brooklyn to go to the 76ers. But it seems to me like the NBA is getting tired of this. Not just James Harden, but other players moving around.
Yeah.
You had showed me an article talking about the Dame Lillard situation.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What was that about?
Oh yeah, Dame Lillard. Pretty much. I'm just paraphrasing here. The NBA is like they are no longer going to tolerate agents and players dictating like if you trade me here, I'm not gonna honor my contract. And they said they're going to be disciplined if that's the case. So what they pretty much telling dudes is to shut up and color. Pretty much that's what they're telling them.
Yeah, because I'm not saying they're losing money, but it seems like they don't want these players to dictate where they're going anymore. And it's putting the GM, the ownership, in a bind to, placate to the players. And this is when they're under contract, not when they're, about to be a free agent. People could talk about Kyrie Irving, but every time he's moved, it's either when he was a free agent or when he was about to be a free agent. That's what just happened this past season when he got traded to Dallas. Remember, they say he wanted to go to the Lakers and to the Suns. He ended up going to Dallas because he had no choice.
Pretty much.
And same thing with Kevin Durant. But Kevin Durant, he kind of forced his way out. But when it comes to James Harden, it's been like this all the time. Not necessarily with Oklahoma City, but that was actually the opposite. They literally should have kept him in Oklahoma City.
Should have kept that one.
But what do you feel how the NBA is kind of trying to pivot towards? I mean, they did that through the CBA to try to keep players on their home team, their original teams, with giving them a lot more money, and that's not working. So what do you think about this now? Is just basically saying, hey, you're not going to go anywhere, and if you pitch a fit, we're going to fine you.
Oh yeah, what they're doing is they're just standing 10 toes down. They're just standing their ground. Now I like the NBA because the players have some power and some say. I really do enjoy that, but you're like, okay, you're forcing your way out of all of these markets, and just moving around, and it's causing a lot of teams a lot of discomfort, which a lot of people like. So what? These owners are billionaires, so why do we care? But as a fan, I care. I care as a fan. I know they may not care about what I think, but other fans feel the same way. Like stop forcing your way out of places just because you don't get your way. Pretty much having a temper tantrum. That's what James Harden is doing. He's having a temper tantrum. pretty much. He reminds me of my 5-year-old daughter. Like she's having a temperature because she's not getting her wet. And what do? You just be like, oh, okay, you just sit there, let them cry it out. Okay, you done? Okay, let's go. Let's get busy. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody told him he opted in. He didn't have to opt in.
Right. Exactly. And I think he seemed like he got duped, into opting into that contract, which he could not have, and been a free agent and possibly would have been on a different team right now. Maybe not the Clippers, but I think he thought that whole, buddy, we're pals. We're not pals. You're an employee. I'm your boss. So yeah, you can think that, but I'm gonna do what's best for the 76ers.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna get the best. And that same thing going with Portland. The 70s. With Portland, they're gonna get the best. Try to get the best trade possible, and it seems like right now Miami doesn't have the best trade they want, because if it did, Damian Lillard would have been traded by now.
By now, yeah.
2 months until the season starts, and he was on a podcast somewhere saying that he didn't even want to talk about Portland. He loves the fans, but he don't want to talk about Portland at all. He didn't want to bring their name up.
And honestly, one of the rumors I heard was before Jaylen Brown signed that big max deal. They would say Dame Lillard for Jaylen Brown and some other pieces. Right. I was like, yo, they could have jumped at that, but that's when he was on his I only want Miami. I like, you might want to jump on that. That Boston team is championship ready. I was like, you might want to jump on that one.
And he's still in that Miami or bust. You know what I mean? So, and Jaylen Brown would not go anywhere and not get that contract. That is the biggest contract right now.
Oh no! I think he probably could have
sign and trade.
Yeah, sign and trade could have possibly worked that out or something like that. But that rumor was out there. So, hey, I mean, these players kind of are their worst enemies a lot of times. You know.
It is, and to bring up going back to the track and field, the world records. I just looked it up. 100, 200 meters for the women's is FloJo.
Oh yeah, I knew that.
10:49 for 100, 21:34 for the 200. Back in 1988.
Yeah.
And then in the men's 100, 200 is Usain Bolt, 9:58 in the 100.
All right.
And 1919 in the 200 back in 2009 of August. I think that's the World Championships. I thought that it was American that broke his record in the 100, but I guess not. It might have been an unofficial time that broke the record, but yeah, the official is 9.58. But 1919 200, do you think Noah Lyles, can he break that?
It's possible. I don't think it's going to happen in the world. Anything is possible. Anything is possible. Noah Lyles is fast enough and strong enough to do it. So I'm not going to doubt that young man.
Right. Moving on. Just some quick baseball news. Shohei Ohtani was injured pitching. His elbow, torn UCL injury, which means he could have what's called Tommy John surgery. He already had one years ago. This will be his second. Now he can bat. Remember, he's a two-way player. He pitches and bats. He can bat. He's one of the top players in the league. Over 40 home runs. One of the top 10 pitchers in the league. And what this does, now they say he wants to play still. He can still bat, so he could be a DH. You know, the Angels in the AL. But he can't pitch. Now, the problem is, when he gets the surgery, he'll be out a whole season. So all of 2024, he will not be able to play. Come back 2025, he possibly can do both, pitching and batting, but not the same at all. They've said only rare that pitchers come back and are half of what they are being with the 2 Tommy John surgeries. So what this does is people were talking about he can get upwards of $60 million a year, $70 million a year. This, now him just being a batter, it could possibly go all the way down to $35, $40 million a year on the market. So I would say if he wants the money to stay in Los Angeles, but if he wants to win, he's gonna have to leave. Either the Dodgers, the Giants, the Mets, the Yankees, the teams with the money that will pay.
Yeah.
And that's in contention. I would say the Braves, but the Braves are so locked in with their roster, I'm not sure. Maybe Tampa Bay, but Tampa Bay is a small market team.
Yeah.
But right now, it's probably the Dodgers, Mets, or Yankees that's looking towards grabbing Shohei Ohtani. I mean, what do you think about the situation?
Well, it's a sad situation that they lose a lot of that money, and they'll probably play him at if he couldn't pitch anymore, they just probably strictly play him at DH. Maybe I don't know what.
Well, he doesn't play a actual position.
Okay.
He just plays pitcher. Now, a DH, designated hitter, they only hit.
They only hit. But sometimes, sometimes Big Papi play first base.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So I don't know if Ohtani can do that or not.
You know what? Think about it. He may have to do that. He may have to reinvent himself. First base would be probably perfect. I mean, you're standing, you're basically just catching the ball, throwing it. You know, it's not like.
I don't know how tall.
Or one of the outfield positions. I'm not sure if when he was younger, did he play outfield or whatever like that.
First base would probably be perfect for him. I don't know how tall he is, because normally first basemen tend to be taller and more robust. Your Albert Pujols, the Big Poppies, guys like that. They tend to, because you don't have to move around a lot, so you just like boom.
Right. Well, we'll see what happens. He's going to be shut down for the rest of the season. Mike Trout is injured on that team again, so it's your typical Angels. To see what happens. But in other news, NFL news, the Cardinals the season hasn't even started and they're already on a fire sale. They just traded away Isaiah Simmons, their linebacker. They got in 2020. They traded him to the Giants for a 7th round pick. And everybody's clowning the Cardinals, saying they the Giants fleeced them. Not necessarily. Isaiah Simmons hasn't been that star player that they thought he would be. He's a serviceable player, but not necessarily that star linebacker, safety. They had him at safety, which wasn't that good. He'll be better off at linebacker. The defense coordinator for the Giants was saying, they're going to put him at linebacker or at defensive end. So the Cardinals, and they also traded away an offensive lineman, which is kind of strange. And then they brought in a quarterback, Josh Dobbs from the Browns.
Okay.
Because they don't know what's going to happen with Kyler Murray. So with that being said, I mean, do you think they're already tanking?
Looks like
before the season starts?
Looks like it. They cutting everybody loose. Cut everybody loose, trying to get their money together and figure something out. They got a new coach, so I don't know how long they gonna give him to do his thing, but
right.
I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, look, kind of feel sad for the Cardinal fans out here.
I'm not. I'm not sad for them at all. You want to be a Cardinal fan? Go ahead. Go ahead. The thing is, with all the draft capital they have now, if they don't make, I think they do have a number 1 pick, draft pick, but if they don't get there, to have the worst record, maybe they can use picks to trade up to get Caleb Williams. from USC, who is most likely going to be the #1 pick in 2024 draft.
Okay.
So this is their play, you know, and they're showing their hand immediately. They're not going to wait to the trade deadline. They're not even waiting until the start of the season. So yeah, it seems like it's a wrap for them before they even start.
Crash and burn.
Right.
Crash and burn.
Oh, speaking of crash and burn, Cowboys, Sam Williams was arrested on substance and weapons charges.
Yeah.
He was speeding, going 71 in a 45.
71 and 45.
Was charged with THC,
Yeah.
not for possession of marijuana. He must have a very small amount of marijuana. But here's what's crazy. Jerry Jones said, what was he going, 66? He was going 66 miles an hour. This year, that's 34 miles an hour less than, so that's an improvement. I guess he was trying to be funny, but I'm not sure if that's a good thing if you're one of your players is constantly getting in trouble, speeding with, weed and guns in the car. I mean, this is just the Cowboys, right?
Yeah.
This is just who they are.
Yeah. What they say, just wait for it. Just wait for it. Accident waiting to happen. Yeah, just wait.
Exactly.
Just wait for it. Everything's going good. We're going to the Super Bowl. Pick 6.
Yeah, it happens all the time. I mean,
like,
people are talking about, is this Dak Prescott's last year or last contract?
is this the last year of his contract?
Well, I don't think it is, but what I'm saying is his last contract to where
Oh, okay.
will the Cowboys re-up his contract? Because he's not going to get a big deal like he did. If he doesn't have a good season or even the next season, like, what are they going to do? Because this is all Dak Prescott. And what has that got you as a Cowboys?
Yeah. First off, we're not too empathetic, me and you, towards this. But I'm an Eagles fan, you're a Giants fan. We're like, whatever, dude. Like, but honestly, he has to ball out this year. He has to ball out. He has to ball out if he wants to see another big contract. And some people didn't think he deserved that big contract that he got. But I don't like to count people's pockets. He got his money because I'm all about anybody, whether it's a player or a regular person. Go get your bread. Go get your money. I ain't no hater,
Right. Right. And one last thing before we go to break. Stephen A. Smith's been in the news lately because of a lot of things he's been talking about. And he was saying that Stephon Diggs wants to be traded. He wanted to be out of Buffalo.
Yeah, I heard about that.
And
right up on that.
Stephon Diggs says 100% not true. I don't know who the source is, but I thought I nipped that blank in the bud already, which he wrote on his Twitter page.
X.
And Twitter/X. And I don't know where Stephen A. Smith is getting this information from when he talks to about players. It seems like they always clap back at him. Why is this?
Because the players wanna be right. They want them to be wrong. They don't want their truth to get out there. Because this has happened to Stephen A. before. It just recently happened with Paul George. He went on Paul George's podcast, which it was a good episode too. I saw it.
His podcast is blowing up.
Yeah. So and I just he just had something with what's his name, Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball was like, oh, I'm not injured, and he started hopping up and down on his knee and everything like that.
Exactly.
Stephen A. just simply said, like, can you play ball? You moving up and down your knee, can you play ball though?
And
so
And going with that, I would have to give that to Stephen A. because Lonzo Ball's been injured for like almost 4 years.
Yeah.
He's only played like maybe a third of his time as a player. His younger brother has played twice as much as he has, and he's now injured. You know, so I mean, some of it Stephen A. said is right. Some of it he's wrong. I mean, you're not going to get all of it right. And another thing, these players want so hard to control their own narrative.
Yeah.
So
really
that is
bad.
the main reason. That's
Really bad.
the reason why this is going on. Where players are clapping back at Stephen A. and others, not just
yeah.
him. So there's going to be more, and we're going to come right back with more. Keep 1 Million Show.
And that's the thing. Stephen A's not making it up. He has sources.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so
sources.
who are these people that's telling?
Oh, you know he's not gonna give us. You can't give your sources away.
Right.
And if you lose all your legitimacy with that,
Right. And it's all just snitches around not the league, but around the teams. You know what I mean?
It's people in a crew. It's people in a crew,
Right.
man. It's like it's not like this is nothing new. This is nothing new. I mean, man, you know, like you said, it's people in the office,
Right. The office,
league offices, and everything.
The league office is wants to, you know, make a disparaging remark about a player, so they run it through the media. Someone that has seen something or heard something wants to get paid real quick, so they gonna tell someone, "Hey, I got this information."
Yeah.
You know, he give me a couple $2 for it. So yeah,
It
that's
might not even
happening
be.
a
It
lot.
might not even be a couple of dollars because some of these people already got money. They can get access to stuff. It's just a source. A source.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And we're back. Cape 1 Million Show. I'm Dwayne,
Sean P.
and we were just getting into Stephen A. Smith, ESPN, talking about, you know, sources and how these players are clapping back. Well, ESPN has announced that coming next week, Shannon Sharp is going to be on First Take on Mondays and Tuesdays.
Yeah. Monday. Yeah. Because Tuesday because after Monday Night Football. Monday after Sunday. So he's going to be doing football pretty much.
Right.
Football.
Exactly.
So that's perfect. And I knew this was coming. I mean, as soon as he left Fox, and there was little rumors, and I was looking at little stuff online on YouTube. I was like, yeah, he probably gonna go to ESPN First Take, and then Stephen A. He didn't drop a bomb, but Stephen A. said, "Oh yeah, you're more than welcome to come over here."
Exactly.
Yeah, they're gonna shut it down. I mean, ESPN's gonna shut it down.
I'm not a First Take fan, but I may have to watch a couple of.
I like Shannon. I
Sharp.
like Shannon.
Right.
I like Shannon.
Right. Shannon Sharp had me watching Undisputed like crazy.
Yeah, I was watching it.
So-
I was watching
And speaking of Undisputed, now Skip has ESPN's old NFL analyst Keyshawn Johnson and Michael Irvin's over there.
it. Oh, yeah. I saw that.
With rotating, with Richard Sherman,
Yes.
right? And then he has Lil Wayne on there. There's going to be a new song.
I don't know.
whatnot.
I don't really like that move. But okay.
Well, I think he's just going to do the song. I'm not sure if he's going to be on there debating with him. He may be, he's a super fan.
Yeah, he is, but I don't like when he's on the show. I'm not feeling that.
Okay.
Not
So,
feeling
that whole, ratings war is still going to go on.
that. Of course.
And the thing is with Shannon Sharp is he's also partnering with Colin Cowherd, The Volume, which that's Colin Cowherd's podcast network, to move Club Shay Shay. So Club Shay Shay is going to go over there, which is major news because I only heard great things about The Volume, and it's growing massive. It's growing massive in that podcast space.
ESPN really doesn't have a podcast space, radio space. It's dwindling very, very quickly.
Yeah.
And for him to go to a growing, podcast space is just more money for him. So shout out to Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, big shout out. Big shout out.
Hopefully he gets, more deals to come, because that's what's going to happen. And, he's a hot commodity right now. And then one last thing, you had a story about a WNBA player.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
I can't really play it on here. I don't have an article of it, but it's what's her name?
Her name is Williams. She plays for the WNBA.
Rakuna Williams.
Yeah. I can't pronounce it. I can't pronounce the first name. That's why I didn't say the last name.
Rakuna. I'll just say. Oh no, I do have it. Rakuna Williams.
Yeah, I can't pronounce it. But yeah, she got
This
arrested.
is a month ago.
Yeah, it's a month ago. And
Wow.
I didn't hear about it until today.
Right. I have the story. You have the story, or you want to read it?
Oh no, you can read it off if you want to. Go ahead.
Okay. This is off of Las Vegas.
Mhm.
Rakuna Williams was charged. As police say, she hit, kicked, and strangled her wife in a domestic violence incident that lasted an hour. Williams, winning last year's championship team, the Las Vegas Aces, is facing 5 felony charges, including count of domestic battery by strangulation, assault with the use of deadly weapon, and coercion of domestic violence with force, threat and force, this court records show. According to the arrest report of Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, officers were called in Williams' home on Tuesday around noon. Her wife called 911. Williams and her wife had been together for 4 years, were married in September. Speaking with police, Williams' wife said the veteran WNBA player has been standoffish, will not speak any time with her the past couple days. Victim texted Williams on Monday saying the two needed to take a break from each other. She said that she would go back to Florida where the couple lived in the off season. Williams replied okay, but did not join the victim in bed. Early Tuesday morning, the victim said she began packing when Williams really came into the room and told her not to take anything she did not pay for. Williams then threw clothes and her suitcase on the floor. Williams asked the victim where she was going, when she replied, "We agreed you would let me leave." Wife accused her of taking her cell phone, iPad, credit, and debit cards as ID. So the victim couldn't leave her. That could be kidnapping charges as well. I'm not gonna read the whole article, but
Well, pretty much, it's a horrible situation.
yeah.
She literally almost killed this woman. She almost murdered this woman, and I'm now, correct me if I'm wrong. If you are on YouTube, leave a comment. Please fact check me. But I heard nothing about this, and
Right.
and I'm wondering why. Because we know if this was a man that did this to a woman, it'd be out there all on the internet. If the player was big time enough, Malika Andrews would have been like, screwing, like burning this dude up. Yeah, so I'm just trying to figure out why we just hearing about this. And this player, Vakuna Williams, she's not a bum. I mean, she scored 51 points in a WNBA game.
51 points. Her teammate, Jai Williams.
Yeah, Asia Wilson.
Asia Wilson, excuse me, scored 53 points the other day, breaking the record.
Yeah,
That is
breaking
the record in WNBA of most points per in a single game.
Yeah, and she won they won a championship last year. So she was on the team last year. And they
They're
won.
on pace to win one this year.
They're a real good team.
They have like the most wins. They're on pace to win the most wins ever.
they're on pace to break a lot of records.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
that team. So
They're a real good team. I mean, Asia Wilson was good. I mean, when she was in college with South Carolina, I mean, she was a monster. So we'll see. But like, this is a shame that this is somebody. This is true domestic violence. I don't care if it was a woman on a woman, because I used to think, oh, it's just two chicks fighting. But now it's two. This is a woman who's a professional athlete who actually has some strength to her,
Right.
who's beating the crap out of her wife. And like, so and taking this up. I mean, it reminds me of Ike and Tina in the movie What's Love Got to Do with It. Well, what did Tina say? God rest the dead. Tina Turner. What she said, hey, all I want to leave with is my name. He can keep everything else. Like, that's what she should have did. You know what? You can have everything. I'm just gonna leave. Like, just get out.
Yeah.
Get out. But she wouldn't let her leave. Like, she would not let her leave. That meant she had intentions on whooping this woman's behind, and she would not let her leave.
And the thing
It's a shame.
when I say kidnapping charges, when she takes all her belongings,
Mhm.
so she couldn't leave, the DA can possibly add those charges too.
Possibly.
And yeah, if it all comes out, trial and everything, she's found guilty, which most likely she will be. She's gonna
She's probably gonna
do
plea.
some years.
She's probably gonna plea out. I don't think she gonna want to let this go to trial. She's probably gonna plea out.
Yeah, she has to, because now here's my question: if it gets to trial and if it gets there, will the news pick it up? Will the sports media pick it up? Now the local Vegas did. Will obviously
Oh,
they
yeah,
have
yeah.
been. But will they pick it up?
Probably not. They may talk about it a little bit. It may. You know what? It may be on the wire at the bottom of the screen, and they go
Right.
across the wire. But they first taking all them. They're not gonna talk
Right.
about it. They're not gonna talk about it.
Because that will be a major debate when it comes to men in domestic violence and women in
Yeah,
domestic violence.
let's talk about equality.
Right.
Let's bring that. Like, there's equality. Make sure Malika Andrews is on that on
that
there
panel,
on that
right.
panel. Let's talk about
Exactly.
this.
And one last thing, is get into politics real quick before we go. The biggest news is Trump. Trump indicted on federal RICO charges with 18 others to overturn the election. And the big news is right now that his mugshot is out there. People are kind of seem like that's a victory lap for some reason. I mean, how do you feel about it? I mean, it's all over. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, it's everywhere. People are. If there was actual Twitter streets, people would be celebrating the streets. Like, how do you feel about that? What do you think? Your opinion?
Perfect timing. They didn't want him to run, so they're pushing this case. If he catches a felony on this, he can never hold public office, because you can't hold public office with a felony. But he is a United States citizen, and then when charges are brought on you, you have to, and you're arrested, you have to take the mugshot. You have to go through due process like anybody else would. So I don't feel bad about that, but I will say it's very convenient. They don't want him to run, because honestly, to tell you the truth, I believe he could beat Biden. And they don't want that. They don't want that. So
And the thing is too, what's weird is how the Georgia situation, he's like, oh yeah, we're gonna take his picture, we're gonna go to trial, all this stuff. But all the other indictments he has, they didn't do that. If you notice, all the other ones, even the one with the sexual assault allegations, they didn't put his mugshot up there. They didn't do all this grandstanding and everything like that in New York and in Florida. So why in Georgia? But I guess, hey, you got Rudy Giuliani, which everyone's happy about. I'm happy about that too. Him being booked under his own RICO charges. And what's crazy is everyone's talking about Trump, but the only black guy that's charged, he's the only one that's not getting out, because no one's putting up money for his bail. No one's even talking about that. The one black person that's up on charges. But My main question is this supposed to be this important? I get it's the, this is the debate that was the day before.
Yep.
Now you have Trump getting booked. It is election season.
Mm-hmm.
But with everything else going on, when we need to wonder what these politicians are going to do for us, why would a former president, who most likely won't be president, is the biggest topic, the biggest story in the country?
Trump's a big name, man. He's a big name. Honestly, I thought the interview with Tucker Carlson that he had at the same time as the debate was going to get more ratings.
It probably did.
I'm gonna look that up.
It most likely did. It's on Twitter.
Yeah,
People watched.
it was on Twitter.
Someone put it on their YouTube channel, and it immediately got like 10 to 15,000 views. That was live in a matter of minutes. I was like, wow, people are really interested in this.
Even if you don't like Trump, you checking that for
right. And well, my main question with this is like, what are the policies? What are they standing on, these Republicans and the Democrats? Because it seems like they're not talking about what are the policies that they're going to run on. The Biden administration is really just not really saying much. I mean,
a buddy of mine told me that they hit on education real quick. Like the stuff that we would really care about, it was just hits. They would talk about it real quick, then they wouldn't talk about it anymore. So
right.
So I'm paying attention. And honestly, your local elections is what's the most important. I voted in the last the midterm. The midterms and everything, that's what is the most important, that affects you in your city, right. in your city, in your district. So, but these elections are important, but those are like more important. So you got to pay attention to these lawmakers and everything. Really do.
And me personally, I really don't think Biden's going to win with everything going on in the past couple of years.
Yeah.
I don't think Biden's going to win, so I'm not sure who's going to win the presidency in 2024. Especially if they try to lock up Trump, and I don't even know if that's going to happen.
Yeah, well, people thought
everything's up in the air with
people thought Buster Douglas. People thought Buster Douglas wasn't going to win either. So come on.
You're right.
So anything can happen.
Absolutely right. So, just want to thank everybody for watching, for listening. Keep 1 Million Show. I'm Dwayne. You can listen to us every Thursday night, 7 to 9 p.m. On KRDP. Please go to listen number 2, KRDP.com, or the publication of Desert Soul Media. Be right back with the second hour. It's the Keep 1 Million Show. Oh, that's what I forgot. Damn it. That's the Kobe shit. I'll do it in the second hour. I'm gonna do a little different in the second hour then. And go back to track and field, and then James Harden and Damian Lillard, and then we're going to Kobe.
Okay.
Okay. We'll talk about Kobe and then everything else we talked about. I need some water.
All right, y'all, we gonna break. We'll be right back.
Hey, thanks everybody for watching.
KRDP is provided by the MIM Music Theater. Tickets for MIM's fall concert series are on sale. Upcoming shows include Bobby Rush, Chief Ajua, Liz Wright, and more. Tickets and lineup at MIM.org.
Look out, world, we're getting strong. The future's here and we belong. She can stand, she can do more. Like build a rocket and watch it soar. Clean the oceans and make the world a better place. Oh, she can stand, so can you. Find a cure, invent something new. There's no challenge in the world that she can't face. She can STEM. Learn more at She Can STEM. A message brought to you by the Ad Council.
Funding for KRDP comes from AARP. There's nothing quite like local. At AARP, we connect people to what matters most in the places they call home. A complete list of events is available at aarp.org/local.
Broadcasting from the Phoenix Center for the Arts, you're tuned to KRDP Jazz and Indie, where the Valley comes to talk, sing, connect. KRDP, Apache Junction, Goldfield Ghost Town, Phoenix, 90.7 FM in the East Valley, and online at Listen, the number 2, KRDP.com, a service of Desert Soul Media.
Views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of Desert Soul Media and its board of directors. Thank you for listening.
This week on the Keep 1 Million show, Shakari Richardson and Noah Lyles are world champions in the 100 meters. Will they do it also in the 200? We're going to talk about that, as well as James Harden getting fined a huge amount for speaking out of line. Is the NBA cracking down on player movement? We're going to get into that, as well as Shannon Sharp is making some big moves, and he's moving to ESPN and other media outlets. We're going to tell you which ones. And also, Shohei Ohtani, the best player in baseball, major announcement about the future of Shohei Ohtani. We're going to bring that to you guys, as well as everything in between in the past week of the sports world and beyond. So keep it locked right here on the Keep 1 Million show.
Yeah, when we talked about James Harden and stuff, that second segment, I'm gonna bring up Kobe. I won't forget it.
All right. Kobe.
Oh, Gardner Minshew with the Colts now?
Who?
Gardner Minshew.
Yeah. He's not gonna be the starter. They're gonna start the rookie.
Right.
Yeah. You gonna go to the state fair?
What's that?
You gonna go to the state fair?
Oh, probably. I know it starts like next month,
Yeah.
September and October.
Yeah, best time for me to go be on a Thursday, like today. That's actually the best day to go because it's not as crowded and parking's not expensive. Any other day, man, they be hiking that parking up.
Yeah. I haven't even thought about the state fair yet. Oh, thank goodness. And I forgot about what's the name of Indianapolis
What, down
quarterback. Yeah, I forgot about that too. I know there's a lot of stuff to talk about. I wanted to bring that up too, but I'll try to bring it up here. How is it 25? Oh, they're just running the ball.
Hey, what do you think about doing like a after hours
What podcast?
portion of the show, like
Yeah.
when we stop at like a bar or something like that, and be like and do like an after hours. I was thinking about that. I thought that'd be dope. I wouldn't.
That would be dope. I mean, you have to find a spot.
I talked to some people. They cool with bring the camera in and setting up. And everything. They cool with it. I say, hey, it ain't gonna cost y'all no money, you know. But if anything, it's like big up in y'all. And not as far as like hardcore advertising. I always tell them that you gotta pay for that radio station.
Oh,
But like as far as us being on location, if that's
Yeah. Hold on. We'll talk about it. And we're back to Keep 1 Million Show. I'm Dwayne.
Sean P.
It is August 24th, 2023.
Happy Kobe
And
Day.
it's Kobe Day. We're going to get into that and a special announcement from the Kobe Bryant family and the Lakers. But first, we got to get into the World Championships track and field as Sha'Carri Richardson and Noah Lyles both won the 100 meters World Championships, and they're going both for the 200 meter World Championships.
Yes, sir.
Sha'Carri Richardson was a 10.65 in her winning the 100 meters, and I'm not sure what was Noah Lyles was.
I can't remember his time. Pretty fast though.
Yeah, around like a 10.2 or 10.3.
I think it might have been something.
Really, it was 9? Less than that? Wow. But Sha'Carri Richardson, her comeback is amazing.
Oh yeah. Her story is amazing actually. You know, it's just when I look at Sha'Carri, she reminds me of so many young girls I grew up with. I mean, just the brashness, the way she talks and walks and everything. So I always had affection for her, and I was rooted her on. I couldn't root the xenophobic comments and stuff like that towards Jamaica. I took that as just her being immature, but she's matured a lot, and she realizes that if she's going to talk the talk, she got to walk the walk. She did more than walk the walk, because if you look at that race in the finals, she walked those Jamaicans down. I mean, they were in front of her, and that's something that I thought that she couldn't do, was walk them down, and she literally sucked them up and walked them down across that line. I was like, wow. I mean, it was real close. She won the race, but it was real close. All the commentators said that Sharika Jackson thought she had it, but then she looked to her right and saw Sha'Carri cross the line first. So it's crazy. It's amazing, and congratulations to the world champion.
Right. And now, for the 200 meters, though, Sha'Carri Richardson does have competition in her own
countrymate
Oh yeah, yeah.
and Gabby Thomas.
Yeah.
They're both are going to be into the 200-meter final. Do you think Gabby Thomas can win gold here?
I actually have Sharika taking the gold in that, because this is actually Sharika's race. This is her race. She's built for it. And the 200 is built for men and women that are taller and powerful runners. It's not to say that a shorter woman can't do it, because Shelly Ann Fraser Price has won gold in the 200. And I've seen it was a young lady that used to run for Kentucky now, named Desiree Bryant, who's like 5'1", and she's won a 200 before. So if you're really powerful, you can do it, but those long strides and powerful legs really do help. So, Gabrielle Thomas is 5'9", Sharika Jackson is 5'8", Sha'Carri Richardson is 5'2". so you're like, but it can be done though, and Sha'Carri can do it. It wouldn't surprise me if she did it, but I see it going. Sharika, Gabby, Sha'Carri.
Okay, and then in the men's, can Noah Lyles break Usain Bolt's 200-meter record?
Oh, he
with
can.
1919.
He can do it, but I think he's more focused on winning, just winning it. But
Right.
it can happen. They've been running into a tailwind throughout the days. So, and if you know anything about track and field, I'm not tailwind. I'm sorry, headwind. If you know anything about running track and field, running into a headwind, it's more difficult and it impedes you. So these fast times they run are impressive. When you run into a tailwind, it actually helps you. So we'll see. I believe Noah Lyles can win the gold though.
Yeah, and the thing is, there's been this rivalry between the United States and Jamaica for about 10 years.
Yeah, for years.
Over
now.
10 years, as a matter of fact. Since about 08, 07,
Yeah.
06.
The early 2000s.
Right, and Jamaica has had our number for most of those years. And now finally in the past 3, 4, possibly 5 years, United States has finally have a team together. We usually win the 4x100, the 4x400s, but it's like the 100, 200. It's always been back and forth between the United States and Jamaica. It seems like now finally the United States may sweep the 100 and 200. And I think they got silver in the 400. A Norwegian woman won the 400, and I mean, it's kind of special because going into the Olympics in Paris, that's going to be major.
Major.
The Americans versus Jamaica. I mean, can you see us, United States, actually sweeping?
Competition is tough. I don't like to call sweeps. It's real tough. And as far as the competition with the U.S. and Jamaica, it's going back and forth with the women. It's the men's side that Jamaica's really dominated, and now you're starting to see the American men coming into their own. It's going back and forth with the women because not that long ago, this is about to be 2024. So it was 2016 when I believe it was 2016 when American women won the 4x. They won the 4x1, and then 2020 or 2021 is when the Jamaicans won it. So it's going back and forth, and don't forget about Sydney McLaughlin. She's been dominating the 400 hurdles. Now she's starting to dominate the 400, and the women's 4x4 team and the men's 4x4 team for the U.S. has been dominating. So it's not like Jamaica has shut us out all the time, but they have been doing their thing against us.
Right. So definitely gonna keep our eyes on that in the next year and go USA. So
Yeah.
now moving on to some basketball news. James Harden was fined $100,000 for his comments on Daryl Morey, the GM of the 76ers. Now I think this is a two-pronged situation because one, you have, I think it was back in 2019, Daryl Morey had some things to say about China, and China had, took issue with that, and basically kick the NBA out of China. But the players, since they have these shoe deals, they all, you know, in the off season they go to China. Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, James Harden, you know, LeBron, everybody goes to China. That, you know, they're huge out there in China. And James Harden goes out there in China and speaks to the media, speaks to people, and basically just flat out calls Daryl Morey a liar, and he'll never play for the 76ers again, and all of this, with, you know, all this stuff. And I think the NBA has had enough. They've had enough, not just with James Harden, but with players in general, trying to force trade, trying to break contracts, and, you know, do what they want to do. As you talked about with Damian Lillard's situation, can you just, you know, tell everybody what happened with that?
Pretty much what happened with that is, you know, Dame Lillard is telling people that he only wants to go to one team, and the NBA is pretty much telling people. I'm gonna read it verbatim. This is what it says on ESPN.com. So it says, last month, after conducting another investigation into public and private posturing by Aaron Goodwin, the agent of Portland Trailblazers superstar Damian Lillard, the NBA said in a memo sent to all 30 teams that any player or his agent who makes public or private comments indicating he won't fully perform the services called for under his player contract in the event of a trade will be subject to discipline moving forward. So they're putting their foot down. You're going to tell a team that, okay, if you trade me there, I'm not going to play. No, we're not going for that. Like, I was in the military for 20 years. I couldn't say, hey, if you send me that squadron, I'm not going to load any more bombs. No, it doesn't work that way. You know, and I know somebody in the comment section is going to say, oh, well, you know, nobody's coming to watch you load bombs or planes, but people come and see them play. Actually, people did come to see us watch us load bombs in competition, but that's a whole nother story. But so you got to be professional. You got to roll with it. You signed the contract. You know, you signed the deal. You didn't have a no trade clause. You got to roll. You just got to roll with it. And Portland was trying. But they didn't like the package that Miami had. Sorry, Dame.
Right. Yeah, I mean, they don't want Tyler Hero, and I don't think anyone wants Tyler Hero at this point. But when you have your agent telling teams, you know, don't trade, don't try, you know, don't trade, you know, for Damian Lillard, it does put Portland in a bind as well. You know, because they're looking for the best trade possible, and that's what these teams are trying to do, look for the best trade possible for their team, just like with James Harden, because basically there is no market for James Harden. You know, the rules have changed to where he can't play how he used to play, so he's going to get, you know, instead of, you know, push into a player to get fouled, he can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Right? So his game has changed. He hasn't been a winner at all.
No.
You know, he shuts down in the playoffs. He disappears in the playoffs. You know, his whole off-the-field antics is legendary. And he forced his way out of Houston. He forced his way out of Brooklyn. Now you're trying to force your way out of Philly. And they're just saying, no, we're done with you. We're going to fine you for doing this. And hey, if they're going to try to fight back, you remember they had the, you know, collective bargaining agreement to where they have these huge incentives for players to stay with their team with these super max and max contracts, and that hasn't worked. So now your next step is to threaten these players and teams and fine them, because, you know, a lot of it is tampering. So I think moving forward, are we going to see a malcontent James Harden? Possibly. But at the same time, how is that going to look with the 76ers trying to, you know, get deep into the playoffs and finally breaking through to the second round? Because you have Joel Embiid an MVP, and he's looking to win. He's not looking to, have these issues with James Harden, Ben Simmons, or anybody else. So, how are they going to maneuver this?
Who knows? Who knows? I was never a big fan of the trade to get James Harden. I felt like they should have went with trying to get Buddy Hield out of Sacramento, and went with that.
Mhm.
They went after Harden. I was like, okay, whatever. And as far as Joel Embiid, he wants to win. Well, if you're the MVP, Game 6, he should have shut it down. He should have said, no, give me the ball, take it down low, and pound it with Al Horford on him. So I don't want to hear nothing from Joel Embiid right now. Man. I don't hear nothing from that. They're trying to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. Okay, cool, man. I'm trying to see y'all get a chip. Right now, I mean,
Right.
What they need to do is they need to look right across the street to Lincoln Financial. Look at how the Eagles are doing it. They won a Super Bowl 6-7 years ago, and they went to the Super Bowl last year. Yeah, they lost, but they went there. Look at how they did it. Look at how they did it.
Well, I think one thing how they did it was no drama, and there's always going to be drama when it comes to James Harden. So everyone may want to think about that too when trying to keep a player. You may want to cut your losses, when it's too much drama. But we're going to come right back, talk about Kobe Bryant Day, and keep it locked right here. It's the Keep 1 Million Show.
Today's STEM tip.
Kobe
Want to know how
Bryant.
to make your selfies even better? Okay, let's use
Man, I
science.
remember.
The best time for
I don't know if you
photos
remember. I
is
remember where I
golden.
was when I got
That's
the
the
news
moment
that
right
he.
Oh,
before the
yeah.
sun sets.
I was actually at church.
Blue and
I was
violet
at home.
wavelengths, making
Yeah,
perfect,
I got it on my
soft,
phone.
golden selfie
My
light
feed.
to
At
show
first, I
off
thought
that
it was
beautiful
fake.
face
I
of
was like,
yours.
whatever.
No, I was
Check out
at work.
Chic and
I was
STEM
at
for
work.
You
more
was at work.
inspiration.
And I remember we did the show
A
that
message from the Ad Council.
that week, and my
It's time for
coworkers
today's STEM
cried.
tip. Okay,
Uh,
you know
My-
recycling is
the
important.
guy was doing the show
Come on,
with,
plastic
he
pollution.
cried.
Cool way
Now,
to
now,
make
now I will
He's a
say this.
Die-hard Laker
Build
fan,
an awesome
die-hard Kobe
terraria.
fan.
Yeah, well, I will
Fill a
say
large
this
plastic bottle
though.
in half and fill the base with
One of
sand,
the women I went to
pebbles,
church
potting
with,
soil,
real
and
tall.
your favorite
I didn't assume that she played basketball, but real tall. She actually played in the WNBA. And she said she knew Kobe. She met him. She knew Kobe Bryant, and she was like, it was crazy. She was like, it took her by surprise and everything.
A message from the Ad
Yeah,
Council.
I got it off of TMZ. It's TMZ feed.
Right. I'll never forget that. And we're back, Keep 1 Million Show. Just that break we're talking about. Where were you when you heard of Kobe passing?
Yeah.
That helicopter crash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was at church. And I thought it was fake, but then started looking up, and then TMZ literally confirmed it. And the actual I think the police chief or whoever he was out in LA was mad about that because they didn't even get a chance to inform the family and everything like that. So
Yeah.
he's a little bit upset about that. But I remember it was a woman I went to church with. She was tall. I didn't want to assume that she played basketball, but she did. She played in WNBA for a little bit, and she said she personally, she knew Kobe. She met him a few times, and she said it was just surreal. It was crazy. I mean, because it's just like that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It was a messed up situation.
Hey, God rest his dead for everybody that was on that helicopter.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
It wasn't
Yeah.
just Kobe Bryant and Gigi. It was some other people in there as
Yeah.
well.
It was 12 people, including the pilot.
The pilot.
We talked about it on the show extensively at length, and Kobe Bryant's birthday is on the 23rd. He would have been 45 years old,
Yeah.
and 8/24 is what's called Kobe Day,
Yep.
and
8 and 24.
for his numbers, 8 and 24, and a lot of things have been happening. Some great news. First off, Nike has unveiled a new Kobe shoe.
Yeah. I heard
With
about
his
that.
wife Vanessa. Remember they had a lot of disputes
It was-
going
it was
on.
beef, yeah.
With that, they finally rectified that, and it's an all-white Kobe shoe. It's called a Halo.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. be very expensive. I don't know if anybody can
No,
afford that shoe.
I don't know how much it was, but I know personally at least 2 people that have purchased those shoes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And another major event that Vanessa Bryant had came out and announced with the Lakers is that the Lakers are going to finally have a Kobe statue
Yeah.
in February on 2/8/24.
Okay.
And if you know, those are all their numbers. Gigi's was 2, and we know 8 and 24. So everyone knew there was going to be a Kobe statue in front of the.
Oh yeah. Even like
Lakers,
if he wouldn't have
arena.
passed away, he still was going to get the statue. Everybody
Of
knew
course.
that. Everybody knew that.
Of course. And there's been a lot of, Kobe events, people doing memories of Kobe Bryant and everything. Speaking of the World Championships, thinking about the Redeem team that Kobe was on.
Did you see that documentary?
Yes, the
Yeah.
documentary was great.
It's a great documentary.
And it kind of tied into, I was thinking about Sha'Carri Richards, her redemption is kind of reminding me of that, the Redeem team, the Olympics and all that. So,
Mhm.
but, his determination, his will to win, his, everything, Mamba mentality,
Mhm.
how he thought of that and what that means to people. It means a lot to people. You see a lot of people with that Mamba Academy, sweaters and everything like that. So, hopefully everybody in the sports world celebrated Kobe Day,
Yeah.
8/24/23, and then, like I said, 2/8/24. I would say a secondary Kobe Day because that is going to be the unveiling of Kobe statue, and she did say it's going to have something with Gigi in it, maybe a
Yeah.
statue of her as well. There,
More than likely, yeah.
very amazing situation. Hopefully, the names of the fallen are going to be on there as well, of the people that passed away.
That would be dope
Because-
if they put their names on it.
Because
as well.
remember, that was the team, Gigi's team. They were
Yeah.
going to play.
It wasn't the whole team, but
yeah.
it was a decent amount of the
Right,
team on that
team
plane.
and the
With parents, yeah.
that were there. So
Yeah.
hopefully they do have something special for them as well.
And the statue is dope because it'll be, Kobe will be up there with Shaq and Kareem and Magic. Oscar De La Hoya also has one out there, so it's pretty dope. All I have to say is Philly need to get on that Iverson statue. That's what y'all need to do. Get that Iverson statue, baby.
Right. And football news. Jonathan Taylor is in
Yeah.
the news with the, he was granted a trade, to request a trade from his,
Mm-hmm.
from the Indianapolis Colts.
Mhm.
And the Indianapolis Colts actually rescinded a trade offer from the Miami Dolphins.
Mhm.
They said they're still negotiating, but I guess this is the first. They want a lot for him though. He was a top running back. He was injured, and they may want like first rounder. A lot of GMs, people talking about sources. GMs talking about second round, third rounder.
Yeah, second
They're a little
round,
bit-
third round.
They're looking at a little bit too high because remember how these running backs are. Remember we talked about James Harden wanting to force his way out.
Mhm.
Well, here's a football player trying to force his way out because of not getting a new deal. He's on his rookie deal. They haven't got him a 5th-year option, so he may be franchise tag with that $10 million franchise tag
Mhm.
that Saquon and others have gotten that we're very upset about. So a couple of teams have been inquiring, one of them being the Eagles.
Mhm.
I've heard about the Eagles. Obviously, Miami, which they didn't get Dalvin Cook or Ezekiel Elliott. And then they're also talking to Josh Jacobs with the Vegas Raiders that he hasn't shown up to camp, to do training camp. He has been with the team. He's still trying to get a long-term deal as well. I mean, how do you see this playing out before the season starts? It starts in a couple weeks.
Yeah, man, this really messes up a lot of people's fantasy rosters because they don't know where these guys are going to go. You're going to draft that top running back regardless.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe later, maybe it's still or whatever, but it's these running backs they trying to get their money. You know what I mean?
Right.
He want to get his money, and I mean, does he deserve it? Yes, he does, because these running backs they only get what, one big contract. Normally one big contract, then after that is
Yeah.
it's like
That's true. I was thinking, is there any that has gotten 2 contracts? It's very rare. Maybe Adrian Peterson.
I think it's your piece.
I'm thinking. I think that's the only one I know that's gotten
they get the contract
a second major contract.
they get the contract after they rookie deal. You get
Mhm.
that one. That's a big one. And then the other ones, and then they want to do the signing bonus, so they want the front end of the contract to be heavy with the signing bonus, and then because
Yeah.
that's what Zeke did, and that's why they cut Zeke because the bonus money ran out, so they just cut him and everything. So it's it's crazy because they peak out with the running backs peak out at what, like 28, 27, 28?
Yeah, they say 30 is
30?
is the cliff point where everything goes bad
Yeah.
for running backs, and that's really the beginning of the second contract possibly. You can franchise tag them more than once, so that's what's going on, and really, since they signed this collective bargaining agreement, they really have no say so about contracts right now, so they're kind of stuck. So if the Colts are letting Jonathan Taylor seek a trade, and then he looks at the market, kind of like I said, James Harden, there's nothing there, then what do? You have to go back to the Colts. Or are you going to sit out? I don't think you're going to sit out. You know what I mean? So, yeah, there is a problem there. I would think Miami. I think Miami would be the team. They're really aggressive, looking for a running back, which makes a lot of sense with Tua over there, try to help him.
They got Moisert down there, right?
Yeah, they do, but he has not been doing great.
Okay.
They need an extra running back over there. So,
All right.
So other NFL news, you have the Cardinals. They're on a fire sale. Isaiah Simmons, 8th overall pick in 2020, just was traded to the New York Giants for a 7th round pick, and they're getting clowned for that hard. Basically saying the Giants have fleeced them. It was a steal. The first rounder, he hasn't lived up to first round potential, but he was linebacker, safety, mostly a safety, and the defense coordinator for the Giants, Wink Martindale, says so they put him at linebacker and some defensive end because they need more blitzers. I think that'll work well for Isaiah Simmons coming off the edge and being a right or left linebacker. The Cardinals also traded away their one of their offensive linemen, I think for a 5th round pick. So it looks like even before the season starts, they're just giving away players, possibly to tank for who else? There's been a word that the Cardinals aren't going to stop. They're going to possibly trade away more players for more draft picks. I mean,
Okay.
Where do you see this going with the Cardinals?
Look like they're trying to be like Oklahoma City Thunder. They build through the draft, and trades. So we'll see. I mean, they got rid of Hopkins.
Yeah.
Kyler Murray isn't turned out to be what they wanted him to be.
Right. They just brought in Dobbs from the Browns in the trade as well. So remember, Kyler Murray's injured, torn ACL. They don't know when he's coming back. He may come back in the middle of the season. So they do need a quarterback.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, they might just be packing it up for the season. I mean, man, our guy got hurt. We just let's just get Dobbs in here and see what we can do, and see and maybe we might can land the #1 pick for that
Yeah, Caleb Williams
yeah.
from
USC.
USC. Now the thing is, if they don't get that #1 pick, this is why they're trading for draft capital. They have enough draft capital to trade up to get that #1 pick.
Yeah.
So they're trying to tank, and if they don't, if another team tanks harder than them, maybe they can trade up. Another player they may look at is Trey Lance, because Trey Lance has been the third. He's been demoted to third string as Sam Darnold comes in there and beats him out. Brock Purdy is going to be their #1 starter there in San Francisco.
Yeah, congratulations to him.
And general manager has came out and said they're going to speak to Trey Lance extensively and see what he wants to do. If there's any trade possibilities, they're going to make a trade. I mean, this may have been maybe the biggest, I won't call him a bust, but a big mistake by San Francisco for giving away all of those draft picks to move up to grab Trey Lance.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. It's not like they got a bad team. I mean, who knows what they could have did with them last year. I mean, they got to the playoffs last year. I mean, who knows what they
San
could.
Francisco's been a championship caliber team for a few years.
Yeah.
The only position that they messed up on is quarterback.
Well, Garoppolo wasn't that bad. He got him to the Super Bowl. I mean, he was a serviceable quarterback. He would make it seem like he was a bum. I mean, he wasn't a bum.
But this is the Niners we're talking about. 5-time Super Bowl champions. You have two of the greatest quarterbacks in NFL history on the same team. And now you're coming back. And their fan base is like, we need #6. We need #7. I mean, to be honest with you, if they have Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers 5 years ago, how many championships would they have right now? Or when John Lynch is started as a GM, they would possibly have 2, maybe 3 chips.
Maybe.
With a top quarterback. So when it comes to now, you say Brock Purdy coming from absolutely nowhere to be the #1 starter,
Mr. Irrelevant.
and the guy that you put all your chips in can't even, be your backup quarterback at least, you're gonna have to trade him. You're gonna have to get something for him because it's not working out. Maybe it'd be good for both parties to for him to go somewhere else and have a fresh start. Because remember, him at North Dakota, he only had like less than 20 games he played as a quarterback. And that raw talent is one that got him in the first round. So where is that raw talent now? I don't know. But we'll see. What happens. Hopefully it works out. But I really think the Cardinals may need to look at trading for Trey Lance. Maybe. Just to see what they have with him.
Okay.
Maybe, you know what I mean?
Okay.
I mean, they don't have a quarterback either right now. And Kyler Murray is looking very suspect because let's say he comes back and he doesn't do well. What do you do then?
Yeah. Tough decision. Tough decision.
Yep, and that's why they make the big bucks.
Yeah.
That's why they make the big bucks, the GMs. But when you come right back, give you more, keep it 1 million, so keep it locked right here. Just leave it. What else did I miss? Oh.
this album came out, man. It finally
Yeah.
dropped.
Oh yeah, it was hot. I'm gonna bring up some of these NFL scores.
Oh, yeah.
preseason, and then I'll bring up the dude again from the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm coming right out right now. And we're back. I'm Dwayne.
Sean B.
It's the Keep 1 Million show on Kobe Day.
Yes,
but
sir.
in the NFL, you have, if I'm not mistaken, the Colts and the Eagles
Yeah, Thursday night preseason.
have played. What's going on with ESPN? These scores. But Pittsburgh beat the Falcons 24-0. The Colts beat the Eagles 27-13.
Mm.
Now, most first stringers didn't play, so you're not going to see Jalen Hurts playing or whatever. Anthony Richardson played for the Colts, 6 for 17. Gardner Minshew played, 9 for 11, 102 yards and a touchdown.
Okay.
For the Eagles, Tanner McKee, 19 for 34, 158 yards. Ian Book, 11 for 15, 80 yards. Marcus Mariota, 1 for 2, 21 yards. I don't know what's going on with him. Is this it for Marcus Mariota? If he doesn't get a backup, if he doesn't get the backup position, I mean, what does he do? I mean, is his career over?
Might be it. It might be done. Might be done.
I don't see him going anywhere after this.
Yeah, because I remember when he got drafted. Did he get drafted like number 2?
Yeah. Now, because you gotta look. If you look at that, that's 4 quarterbacks. A lot of teams don't keep 4 quarterbacks. They keep 3.
3, yeah.
And I don't see him being a practice squad quarterback.
Mm.
You know, he makes too much money for that.
I think somebody might pick him up. If the Eagles cut him, I think somebody will pick him up.
Yeah, because after this, cuts should be in the next couple days.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be some major news with what players get cut. The Steelers look great, 24-0 against the Falcons. Pickens, 4 for 4, 86 yards.
Mm.
Trubisky's over there, 7 for 9, 54 yards. Mason Rudolph, 3 for 7 for 15 yards. But they have a George Pickens receiver that's nasty. But he only had 1 catch for 35 yards, and it was a crazy highlight reel.
Yeah.
Look it up. He has a lot of highlight catches. He's looking like Odell Beckham.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
They say a lot of the Pittsburgh cats. I know they say he's not the best route runner though.
Mm-hmm.
That's why a lot of times
he's a rookie, so
he had to make those type of catches.
He's gonna give him a chance. I mean, maybe your fantasy.
Mm.
You know, maybe pick him up.
That's a late for me. That would be a later round pick.
Staying in NFL, the Cowboys, they're always in the news, but
not for
not
winning.
good things. No. Sam Williams arrested on substance and weapons charges. He was arrested for marijuana, going 71 into 45. He had a Glock 17 with him, with 9 million rounds in there. Not good at all. But here's what's wild is the fact that Jerry Jones talked about it, and he was saying kind of glowingly, was saying, well, he was only going 66. Last year, that's 34 miles less than last year. that's an improvement. So,
Yeah.
kind of tongue in cheek, I guess.
Mm.
You know, he got caught speeding last year, going like 90 something miles an hour. The Cowboys gonna be the Cowboys.
Yeah.
They're always gonna be the Cowboys, and
Well,
the thing is, people were talking about Dak Prescott in practice and in his preseason,
when he's-
not doing great, throwing
Dig-
interceptions and whatnot.
him and Diggs talking trash to
Yeah,
him.
talking trash to each other.
Mhm.
My thing is, when his contract comes up, what are the Cowboys gonna do? Are they gonna keep him? Are they gonna trade him? Are they gonna try to bring in another player, another quarterback finally?
Yeah.
Because they haven't really. I mean, who was their backup? That did good when he was injured.
Oh, Cooper.
Cooper Rush.
Cooper
I mean,
Rush. Yeah.
what are you gonna do with that? I mean, you're not gonna have him, start over Dak Prescott. You
No.
know, so got to see in the next couple of years what they do with Dak Prescott. I believe. Could care
Yeah.
less being a Giants
Yeah,
fan,
me
even
being
the Eagles
fan,
fan.
it's-
So
it's whatever.
right.
But I am curious to see what they're gonna do. I mean, we'll see. They got Tony Pollard down there. They got Dak behind center. They got
Right.
CeeDee Lamb. Let's see what they do. Let's see.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Something big with the Broncos. Their top wide receiver Jerry Jeudy was carted off with a hamstring injury.
Mm.
So yeah, that's horrible for your fantasy football owners. The thing is, he was a first round pick, wasn't he?
I can't remember.
I think he was, and he was supposed to be that guy,
Mm.
and he's been injured a lot. And it seems like with brand new offense, a brand new coach over there. I'm not sure how long he's gonna last if he can't stay healthy.
Mm-hmm.
But in other news, you have Stephen A. Smith getting into it with Stephon Diggs. Stephen A. Smith is saying that he's hearing that Stephon Diggs wanted to be traded. Stephon Diggs is over here saying that that's a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, 100% not true. I don't know who the source is, but I thought I nipped that blank in the bud already. This was, this past week,
Mhm.
and it seems like Stephen A's always into some kind of
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
issue now. But I wonder how much hot water will they be in when Shannon Sharp goes over there to First Take. He's going to be there Mondays and Tuesdays
Yeah,
now.
Monday and
Big
Tuesday.
announcement that was made, and Shannon Sharp also has a deal with Volume Podcast, which is Colin Cowherd's podcast network. Shannon Sharp is doing what he's supposed to do. How do you think that's going to work out at First Take?
It should work out well because they got him there Monday. Monday comes after Sunday, football and everything, and he's gonna be there Tuesday because after Monday Night Football. So it'll work well because this is the way Stephen A. wanted to do First Take. He's an executive producer on First Take.
Right.
He wanted to do it like he wanted rotating guests. He didn't want just one guy and then going back and forth. He wants pretty much fresh blood going through this. So him and Molly would be the two fixtures.
Right.
And then you got your Ryan Clarks and
Yep.
Dan Orlovsky's.
Yep.
Then you got the Wojos, the
Everybody, yeah.
Ojadowski and everybody, and Windhorse and Wendy and all them coming through. And what's his name? Swagoo, Big Purd, all them boys, and Dominique Foxworth. You're gonna have all these guys coming through. So and they're still number one. They've been number one for what, the last 12 years in that time spot. So he's Stephen A. knows what he's doing, and then I'm excited to see what this is going to be like.
I'm gonna check to see how it is.
I'm excited. I'm really interested in this.
And to counter that, Undisputed with Skip, they just bring in the layoffs from ESPN with Keyshawn Johnson and Michael Irvin, and then bring in Richard Sherman. just like doing Shannon on weekdays, Monday and Tuesday.
Mm.
You know, Keyshawn and Michael Irvin, rotating guests,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
also Lil Wayne over there,
Mhm.
giving him a new opening song. So
Yeah.
we'll see how that
We're
works.
gonna see how that works. I don't mind what they're doing over there either. I mean, Keyshawn's from LA, so he'll be back at his crib, so to speak.
Right.
Michael Irvin, ESPN. I guess they let Michael Irvin go because of the stuff that he had going on, which I don't think he was found guilty of, but stuff that was going to legal stuff that was going
Yeah,
on with him.
and I was here in Phoenix in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, during the Super Bowl.
Though that was all dropped, but for some reason the NFL Network still has him suspended. So
Yeah.
I wonder why. Hopefully
Yeah.
that gets resolved.
Resolved. Yeah, that's what I mean. You're guilty. You're guilty in the court of public opinion. You're guilty.
Yep.
Guilty until you prove yourself innocent. It's ridiculous, but
Yeah.
hey,
And he has proven himself innocent.
yeah, he
you
did.
know.
So now I'm interested to see what that looks like as well. You know,
Yeah.
we'll see.
Right. And one last thing, going into women's sports WNBA. Now, this is under the radar. It was just local Vegas WNBA player Kuna Williams was charged after police say she had a domestic violence incident with her wife. She faces 5 felony charges, including domestic battery by strangulation, assault with use of deadly weapon, and coercion of domestic violence with force or threat to force, court records show. Now, what had happened, seemed like her and her wife was getting into it. Her wife wanted to leave and go to their Florida home, and she just said okay. So the next day, while her wife was packing up, she got into it with her wife, threw her bags, took her keys, her credit cards, her wallet, and that's when the fight ensued. She arrested, out on bail. The thing is, she's the Vegas Ace is one of their top players, and the thing is, was she had a 51-point game, and her teammate Jai Wilson just had a 53-point game to beat that record.
Yeah.
That is the top record in the WNBA history for points in one game.
Yeah.
Las Vegas, defending champions, they just had 30 wins, the most in WNBA history. Looks like one of the greatest teams in the history of WNBA.
Yeah.
And this is going on, and it's being, I don't know if it's swept under the rug or no one wants to talk about it. I mean, what's the issue here?
I don't know. This is serious. I believe that if this was a man, and especially if it was a man in the NBA, even like a mid-level star, like which I consider Raquel Williams.
Yeah.
It would be plastered all over ESPN. They'd be talking about it. And for some reason, we're not talking about this. I mean, it's not to say that I want her to be beat up in the media. I just think it's amusing when we talk about equality and women talk about equality and equal play, but when it comes to truly being equal, is it really equal? It's not. It's never actually going to be equal. It's never going to be that. So, but I'm taking this case very seriously because I take domestic violence very seriously. This woman is a WNBA player. She's really strong, and she beat the crap out of her wife. I mean, she strangled her. I mean, she could have killed her. And this is not something that we should make fun of. I mean, which I'm not making fun of. and she's possibly gonna do jail time on this.
Yeah, she possibly could because there's 5 felony charges. She may plea out. Some of those may be dropped down to misdemeanors, but
no, she's gonna plea out.
But the thing is, when it comes to the trial, if there's a trial or a sentencing or conviction, will the media pick it up? Because the thing is, right now at the same time you have the Aces doing an historic run, right? Something no other team has done. And their best player is literally winning the MVP already. You know, they basically got Hall of Fame players with a Hall of Fame coach who just won. He just got into the Hall of Fame, Becky Hammond. So,
okay. Becky Hammond.
right.
Okay.
So, with all this going on, I think this is the reason why they're sweeping this under the rug, because you have a WNBA team of this magnitude, and then this is going on. But like you said, yeah, if it was a man, it would be a lot different. And I think if it was a black man, it would be more different, because a lot of white men have been doing things like this in the sports world, and that's been pushed to the side. Remember Dana White?
Oh yeah. I mean, we already know. We already know they wouldn't care about if your team was the best in the league. You just dropped 60 whatever points. They still gonna bring up your teammate stuff. And yeah, we all know if it was a black guy, yeah, they'd be jumping all over it. I just saw a video on Instagram where this guy got up and was announcing all these crimes and everything. He said, "What do you think? Who do you think committed all these crimes?" He said, NBA players and NFL players. He said, "No, members of the U.S. Congress."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he was like, what he was trying to say is, you know, y'all think it's pretty much these black NFL and NBA players. Oh, it's people in Congress doing this type of stuff, you know. So people always say we blame a lot of stuff on the media, but it's true. They do dog a lot of us out, man.
Right. And yeah, we're definitely going to that story and other stories. We're gonna keep an eye on and update next week or so.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for listening. Thanks everybody for watching.
Yes.
On YouTube, on Instagram. Please like, subscribe, share, and listen to us every Thursday night, 7 to 9 p.m. And we're a publication of Desert Soul Media and KRDP. Thanks everybody for listening. This is the Keep It 1 Million Show.
Deuces. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thank you.
Yep.
Because we know you could be anywhere else, but you choose to be here. Appreciate it.